to do, but for now it is just almost for your information. Oops. Is there
On a recent afternoon, a group of activists gathered outside the University of California, Los Angeles, to protest the use of animals in laboratory research in the school.
It's immoral, it's unethical and evil to take non-consenting animals.
It's getting clearer, isn't it? So I think it's a function of the internet.
Demonstrators are peaceful, but in the last few years, more militant animal rights activists have waged a campaign of harassment and intimidation. The activists gathered outside.
Why did you leaflet about the torture and murder of primates going on inside laboratories at UCLA?
On a recent afternoon, a group of activists gathered outside the University of California, Los Angeles, to protest the use of animals in laboratory research at the school.
It's immoral, it's unethical and evil to take non-consenting animals and, against their will, do these horrific things.
These demonstrators are peaceful, but in the last few years, more militant animal rights activists have waged a campaign of harassment and intimidation against UCLA scientists involved in animal experimentation, such as using primates to investigate methamphetamine and nicotine addiction. The activists' tactics have ranged from publishing researchers' home addresses on websites to leaving threatening telephone messages.
I'm working on animals, quit torturing and abusing animals. Bringing transport, economic damage in one night, and you can burn in a year.
UCLA faculty members even have had pipe bombs planted at their homes. These episodes have created a climate of fear among researchers on campus, says UCLA attorney Tom Houston.
The point of boiling really began happening when people realized that they couldn't live in their homes any longer, and that they began having to check under their cars for bombs, that they couldn't leave their kids home alone at night for fear that people would show up, pound on the doors, break things, maybe enter the house.
Federal law enforcement authorities say such incidents are on the rise nationally and reflect some activists' increased willingness to use more extreme methods in their struggle to fight animal experimentation.
Is there a place for violence in the animal rights movement?
Every liberation struggle in the world has had a place for violence.
Jerry Vlasic is the spokesman for the North American Animal Liberation Press Office. It's the public face for underground groups, such as the Animal Liberation Front, suspected in attacks on animal researchers.
It's perfectly legitimate, certainly morally legitimate, to stop people if they won't stop any other way. And that means hurting them, that means hurting them. I would like to see that not done. But these are not innocent victims. These are people who are torturing animals to death, okay, in places like UCLA laboratories.
UCLA, which declined our requests to shoot its research facilities, has successfully fought for a restraining order prohibiting animal rights activists from harassing researchers. Nationally, a larger debate continues over the morality of using animals in laboratory experimentation, like these scenes captured by activists' hidden cameras. Although exact numbers don't exist, it's believed millions of animals, from primates to pigs to rats, are used as test subjects in more than 1,000 laboratories in the United States.
Central to the controversy over the use of animals in scientific and medical research is this question: when, if ever, should the pain and discomfort inflicted on animals in laboratory experimentation outweigh the possible benefits the research might create for human beings?
The use of animals is a vital cornerstone in medical progress, and I would submit to you that if you would abolish the use of animals in medical research today, medical progress would slow, stop, or reverse.
Dr. John Young is Director of Comparative Medicine at Los Angeles' Cedars-Sinai Medical Center and Chairman of Americans for Medical Progress, a pro-animal testing group. He says animal experimentation is vital to finding treatments for such illnesses as cancer, AIDS, Alzheimer's, and heart disease in human beings. Cedars-Sinai and Dr. Young gave us unusual access to facilities in the hospital where animals used in medical and scientific research are kept, such as these pigs used to test human heart implant devices.
The cardiovascular system of a pig is almost identical to that of a human being. Okay, the coronary arteries, the heart muscle, virtually identical. So pigs are a favorite model of cardiovascular disease.
The human ramifications of this research would be what?
Improved care of cardiac patients.
But many animal rights groups say such research ignores the rights and interests of the test subjects.
It is my pleasure to introduce Professor Peter Singer.
Ethicist and writer Peter Singer is one of the founders of the modern animal rights movement. He believes that in the Western world, religion has played a partial but key role in justifying humans' exploitation of animals, including in scientific research.
This idea that so much of our ethics flows out of that Judeo-Christian tradition, which of course separates us from animals, but this gulf between us tells us that we alone were made in the image of God and they're not, that we have an immortal soul and they don't. So it puts a sharp division between us, which if we understand evolutionary theory correctly, there isn't really that sharp division.
Although Singer says he supports very limited animal research that could lead to medical breakthroughs, he believes scientists and doctors too often conduct experiments that are unnecessary and ignore the distress inflicted on animals.
Why is it that being a member of our species is morally important, is morally significant, whereas being a fellow sentient being, a fellow animal, if you like, why is that not important? And if it's useful to us, beneficial to us in some way, to do something that may cause pain or suffering to the animal, that's okay, because they're not members of our species. I refer to this as species. It is a parallel phenomenon in some ways to racism, in the sense of just saying, well, we're the dominant group, we're the ones who matter, and those outside, beyond this boundary of our species, just really don't matter.
So if you look under the skin of this mouse right here, that's human plastic.
Dr. Young says that researchers involved in animal experimentation take all possible precautions to reduce pain and suffering in their test subjects.
We watch these animals very, very closely. And when they begin to exhibit clinical signs indicating cancer is adversely affecting their health, we put them to sleep.
However, Dr. Young does argue that the benefits animal research creates for human beings should always be of paramount importance.
People will ask me, how can you possibly do this good? I can answer that question very easily. Walk them over to the pediatric cancer unit and show them children, all with glioblastoma. Great children will tell you, I'm terminal. We're curing rats of the same disease. 70% sure. I'm excited about that. Okay? It would be immoral, in my opinion, not to have done what we've done in these rats.
But federal research institutions, such as the National Institutes of Health, have pledged to reduce the number of animals in laboratory testing. They're exploring alternative research methods, such as experimenting on human cell cultures and using computer simulations to test treatments. But Peter Singer says efforts to remove animals from experimentation have been too slow and half-hearted in the scientific community.
I think the whole institution is set up at the moment with a bias towards experimenting on animals. So that's what we've done for decades.
As the controversy over animal research continues, so too does the debate over how human beings should balance their self-interest with their concern for the health and welfare of other living creatures. For Religion and Ethics News Weekly, I'm Saul Gonzalez in Los Angeles.
Okay, thank you.
Discover non-expiring presidential proxies.
Sorry, the bus started and we could not hear some of that. I'm so sorry about it. But I think you got the gist. we got the gist of this. Let's just let the bus go there. We can see, we can discuss for maybe just 10 minutes. On what you saw are the pros of doing animal research, the cons of doing animal research. What are the people who don't want it to happen saying? What are the people who want it to happen saying? But where do you think you lie, as Chogoria Iserc? The bus is just going, I can see it climbing the hill. We'll give you time to reflect. Okay, now the bus has stopped. Okay, end of reflection. So what do you think? Comments, concerns? Yes?
I have a different view from research perspective. One is currently we are looking at what others might call global challenges and global opportunities. Wildlife is one of the opportunities. And the world is so moving in a direction to conserve wildlife. Most of the animals being used, I think it's only the primates that are from the wildlife. And I don't see animals like tigers being included in this study as those other animals that we consider very precious or endangered. So on that, I think if we are conserving wildlife, then let's conserve it entirely. But again, there is a competing interest about medical progress. Most of the drugs we are using without these animals, maybe we could not have come to their impact. So I think in as much as we have to do research in animals, we have also to protect them. We have the right to protect them and the obligation to do so.
Anybody else?
I think some level of balance should be sought, and it's not easy because one, even without research, we use animals for our benefit, whether we are butchering them for meals or using donkeys to cow something. Like these are things that have been done since time immemorial. And why might argue